why do you think is rape so prevalent in India?
Yeah, I think the rape system in India is, through years, we have not done anything serious about it. That is the main issue.
Do you think the punishment for rape in India should change?
What should change is that there should be no such prolonged hearings should be going on. They should immediately take them into prison, custody, and should be torturing them just the way they did to the person who was raped or who was a victim, basically.
Who earns more? Does a criminal lawyer earn more or does a civil lawyer earn more?
This is something that I don't want to really say it out loud, but criminal lawyers really earn way more than a civil lawyer.
Why does someone with power and money escape punishments in India? Hi Niki, how are you?
Hello, Joy. I've been doing great.
So Niki, first thing, how was it like going to Harvard University?
I'll say that it is worth the hype. So whatever hype they have for Harvard Law School, it is really worth it. The kind of infrastructure, world-class amenities they have inside, and the libraries are the topmost thing about Harvard Law School. They have manuscripts of 1580 and
Wow.
all kind of old sculptures, everything they have, and faculties are world-class.
Right. So tell us something which perhaps people don't know about Harvard University. Why don't you spill some secrets or spill some twisted truths?
I think people don't know that it is also very depressing to be in Harvard Law School.
Really?
Yes, because the kind of expectations that they have is really very, very high. Someone who is a student who has studied a bachelor's doing their master's, it's a big shift for them. Because in bachelor's, you don't know that these are the expectations for them.
Right.
So meeting the expectations is very difficult task. So it's a bit frustrating. Initially, over a period of time, you just start understanding the requirements and everything.
How is the attendance system there, and how is do the students bunk classes?
Oh, no. So all the students at Harvard Law Schools are all very serious, very punctual, no bullshit. They don't drink, they don't party. They do it, but very, very less often. Very serious people, very focused. So the kind of environment that you get and the culture that you get is fully focused kind of people.
Wow. So you don't have any dorm secrets or party secrets to share with us, you know?
I myself am a very serious student.
Right.
That's how you get into Harvard. You don't party over there. You learn, and I think that's what I love about the university, that you constantly learn. There are too many resources that you can learn from. So 1 year you don't want to waste in partying. You can do that later.
Right.
In one whole year, all I did was learning and just.
And how is it
talk to a lot
living
of
in the
people.
US for a year?
US, I don't really enjoy a lot because of the kind of social system, the security and everything. I myself had a very bad incident, which I don't know if I should go live about it
Why
or
don't-
not.
why don't
So,
you?
a man with a gun sat next to me in my university classroom. The reason why he did that was because he did not get an admission in Harvard Law School. So so in Harvard University,
Yeah.
because gun is legal, the gun culture of United States is something I really don't like. So I was frightened.
So what is the major difference between the Indian and the US judiciary? If I have to ask you to summarize in 3 broad pointers.
So first, I think the kind of laws that we have are state laws and central laws. And always central laws overpower state laws. That's how it works here. But in states, they have federal laws and state laws. And over there, federal laws are secondary. State laws are the ones which are powerful. So I think the kind of law, the structure and the system are totally different. We have I think we have a very, very lengthy constitution. If you
Right.
see United States, they have a very short, brief and crisp kind of laws. And third, the kind of execution strategies that we have is very different from them. Because here we try to find loopholes in every law. There they don't do that. The people of United States, they are like, this is the law, we will follow it. So I think execution strategy is the third thing which is highly different between both the cultures.
What about corruption? Is it prevalent in both the judiciaries, or is it like
yes.
more prevalent in one and less prevalent, or like if you can shed light on
So
that?
I think in India, from the lower level to upper level, the entire system is corrupted. We all know about that. And in states, if you go to higher levels, there is a lot of corruption, but on the lower levels, there is no corruption. So that is the massive difference. Here, from top to bottom, everything is there.
People often have this notion that if it's US, so there's no corruption. So there's nothing like that. So it's a wrong notion.
It is like that, but on a lower level.
Okay.
As you move on the higher levels, the corruption increases. That's how it is.
Right. So right now, as we are recording this podcast, we are in the middle of a huge issue in India. Okay. It is about the RG Kaur rape case, which happened first week of August.
Correct.
With the resident doctor who was there. So, according to data, there's a rape every 16 minutes in India. And before, it's just that she was a doctor, and that too in her own college. That's why it got the limelight it deserved, completely deserved. But there are so many cases which go unreported, unnoticed. Now, I know you and me sitting, we can't change the law system or the judiciary or the police system or whatever it is. But why do you think is rape so prevalent in India? That's my first question. And why do rapists even get afraid, or are they not afraid of anything?
Okay. So firstly, I think the rape system in India is, through years, we have not done anything serious about it. That is the main issue. However, government has come up with a lot of new laws and lot of new portals actually, which a lot of people are not aware of. If you ask me, I think we all should be aware of NCWA, right? If you know about NCWA, it's National Commission for Women. There is an entire committee that government has set for women to actually complain about any kind of rape cases. Forget rape, even eve teasing. Even if someone is looking at you for more than 2 minutes, you can register it on the portal. Even if I don't want to register it and my friend does it for me, she can do it anonymously. So Indian government is doing a lot of things. They are taking steps. I won't say that they aren't. But the thing is that we as people, we fail to, spread awareness that this is a crime, this is totally not allowed. And if something like smallest of it happens, even a hint of it, you should register, you should complain, you should file a suit, and you can just go through the portal. They will appoint a local authority for you who will do the thorough investigation and stop that thing from happening. I personally did it for a lot of people anonymously. So you can do it on NCWA portal, right? So I think a lot of people, lack of awareness is the main issue in India. That's what I think is the problem.
What are some of the laws that a woman must be aware of?
Okay. So with the upcoming changes in Indian constitution, IPC has totally demolished and now BNS has come up. So everyone should be aware that in BNS, there are multiple sections which cover all kind of punishments for rape, for even eve teasing, everything, starting from section 354, 354A, 354B, these all have punishments. So I think all women should be aware about that. And more than that, more than sections, they should be aware about where to complain, how to file a complaint, and what actions would be taken once they do that.
And why does justice take so long? As they say, justice delayed is justice denied. So why does
Indian judiciary wants to ensure that, justice is done perfectly. There is no mistake done.
Does it happen like that all the time?
Yeah, that might have happened many times. We don't come to know about it in details. But Indian judiciary just wants to make sure that no innocent person is behind the bars. So I think Indian judiciary has a very different mindset. They believe that even if someone who is a criminal is left on, that is fine. But any innocent should not be imprisoned. So that is why there is a delay on finding actually who is the criminal.
But don't you think it is often not fair to the person who has suffered, especially in brutal scenarios such as rape or murder?
Yes, I agree. In such cases, there has to be some modification to be done because there has to be instant resolution, not just that the kind of evidences they ask you are really plenty. And for a woman who has been raped or done some eve teasing or something like that has been done to her, for her saving the data and evidence, you don't ask for evidences like that. But as I told you, Indian judiciary just wants to make sure that justice is done perfectly. They try to collect evidences, which somehow is very incorrect. I agree that there has to be some modification.
From the point that you mentioned, that despite a woman already facing so much, yet they have to go through a lot to ensure that they have proof.
Yes.
Uh, Even while they go to file the complaint, a lot of women don't go to the police station to file complaint because maybe of the way they are treated at the police station. They are often skeptical around that,
Right.
So is there a law which prevents the police officers from misquestioning or mistreating a rape
Yes,
victim?
yes. There are multiple laws which revolves around it. All are stated perfectly in BNS, stating how you question a woman who's raped. Also, if you feel that the police station is trying to ask you some questions which are not correct, not right, or you don't want to answer that, you can straight away go to the magistrate, and magistrate will be taking it forward. So even if they don't lodge a complaint against you, for example, or if they say that you give details which you don't want to give, you can just go to magistrate straight away. You can also talk to superintendent police officer. He is supposed to handle it if it's not done correctly.
Okay, and moving on from this segment, uh, in the divorce cases that happen around India, uh, how does one avoid paying alimony to their partners?
No, there is no way to avoid alimony, because Indian constitutional traditionally was designed in a way where women were dependent on man for their lifestyle, for their living expenses,
Unfortunately,
everything.
but
Unfortunately, but yes. But over a period of time, this has changed. So whoever is the higher earning person or whoever is dependent is supposed to be the one who gets the money. Right? Whoever is dependent gets the money. If you are aware about the Kerala judgment, High Court of Kerala just simply said in Manoj Kumar versus Bani TK case that, you really don't have to pay. The guy doesn't have to pay the girl. The woman has to pay the man for maintenance. So it's not that always alimony is to be paid by men. It's just about maintenance, about the expenses, whoever is earning.
right. And what are the laws around men when it comes to sexual harassment?
Okay, so there are no separate laws for men, but if you check BNS, it has a definition which says any person. Any person means a man or woman. So it's not gender bias. None of Indian laws are gender bias. They are gender neutral. So it applies for both men and women. Anything sexual harassment, they just have a definition stating any person.
Okay.
So it includes both men and women. So BNS has all kind of laws for men also.
Right. And coming to copyright, trademark, and patents, how are they so important? Also, if you can give us a famous example of maybe a case or a landmark judgment where maybe the failure to adhere to copyright or trademark or patent really affected a party.
So, firstly, I'll just give you a brief about trademark, patent, and copyright.
Yeah, maybe the difference.
The difference, yes. So, trademark is something which you do of a brand name or a logo. So, that's what you trademark. Copyright is you try to copyright a design, any brand design or any kind of, like any kind of text or any kind of word content that you want to cover that comes under copyright. And patent is only when you have an innovation, anything which is out of the box, not already, it can be any kind of structural or any kind of data or methods. That is what you can patent. So this is the basic difference between all three kind of things. There are multiple judgments actually. If you talk about Paytm and PayPal, it was a big trademark case where PayPal won the case because Paytm had actually copied Pay from them. Also, the color combination was the copyright. The color combination of Paytm and PayPal are kind of similar if you see. So this is the first judgment and they had to pay really good penalty for that.
Wow.
So that is the first trademark, the first landmark judgment. Second, I think, is of sugar free. So in trademark, if you do something called a sugar free, it is commonly accepted as something without sugar. That's what it really means.
Yeah.
But sugar free still got the trademark. How? Because if someone says sugar free, you just know it's a yellow colored bottle. They don't see it as anything without sugar. So that's why sugar free won the case and they did not have to pay any penalty.
Wow.
So very important to get trademark, patent, and copyrights.
So suppose somebody like copies somebody's name or logo, what is the easiest way to maybe file a complaint or approach the court?
You can simply file a complaint online. There's a trademark portal itself. So Trademark Authority has like you can file an objection. TMO is the section under which you file an objection. So you file it online, and once it is done, Trademark Authority itself will take care of it, and it will convert into case.
Right. And what is digital law, and why do you think it is important?
Digital law is a very trending topic. I did masters in digital law. So digital law is the future.
Okay.
Anything which you say technology related, be it hacking, be it any kind of data online, be it anything which you're sharing using your phone, using your tablet, anything, everything is covered under digital law. Any transaction that you're doing digitally, this all are governed by digital law. So it's an upcoming trend. Even India came up with recent changes in Information Technology Act. If you read, there are multiple changes that we are doing. So digital law is a trend, maybe coming up in future as the main thing. Even hacking is covered under digital law.
Okay. So, who earns more? Does a criminal lawyer earn more, or does a civil lawyer earn more?
Okay, that's a very difficult question to me. I think there is no specifications on who earns more. It's about how intelligent a lawyer is.
That's a diplomatic answer you're giving. So yeah, you have to be. See, there are law of averages, right? Then again, exceptions are exceptions.
This is something that I don't want to really say it out loud. But criminal lawyers really earn way more than a civil lawyer, because criminal lawyers have huge amount of money that they get out of the settlement cases. Sometimes when people are trying to settle, or when you're saying that, I'll make sure that you win the case, a criminal lawyer tends to earn more.
So, and somebody who's starting off as a lawyer or who wants to become a lawyer, how do they choose which path to go? Is it something which comes from within, or is it something that really have to analyze and...
So for me, I decided being a corporate lawyer after finishing my bachelor's. So in bachelor's, you get all type of segregation.
Exactly.
So you understand what corporate law is, you understand what civil laws are, you understand everything. And after studying bachelor's only, you can decide on what you are liking it more. And honestly, more then you can actually decide what you want to do. Because I started as a criminal lawyer in my career, but then over a period of time, I realized that for me, dealing with criminals, it's very heartbreaking to me. So then I decided to do only corporate.
Why do the accused often, move out or fly out of India, and why are they not brought back?
Okay, so whenever you go out of Indian river or out of the Indian waterways, at that point, the Indian law, it's all about jurisdiction. The laws are totally dependent on jurisdiction. So once you move out of the country, the laws are totally different. Every country has different kind of laws. So bringing someone who's abroad, you will have to go through an entire lengthy process. That this person is Indian, he did XYZ laws here, please give him back. You have to talk to the country, you have to go through a very lengthy process. So it's just about jurisdictional areas which keep on changing. That is why they prefer moving abroad.
So that means even big issues, for example, say a huge scam or maybe murder or rape, that means you can do anything and escape and you're free. Is that how the system?
No. That's not the system. Because if you do something big kind of frauds or big kind of any kind of murder or something like that, it's not that they won't go and talk to the embassy. They will go, they will talk to Indian embassy in that particular region or location. Right. They will set a negotiation with the government, but it is a very lengthy process. It's not that it would be done tomorrow. The way it can be done here, that you are arrested, you have an arrest warrant, go to the jail. That's not the process. It becomes a very lengthy process for them to get an approval and going through the entire... And they often go to asylum and stuff. So it's a very lengthy process.
Oftentimes, when we go to a police station, the officers on duty refuse to, accept your complaint or file a complaint. What does one do during that time?
So as I told you, if a police officer said a no, you have to go to SP. If SP refuses to lodge your complaint, then you can go to magistrate straight away. Magistrate has to accept your complaint because it's a court. So they will accept your complaint. And you can also talk to human rights. There's a human rights commission that's ongoing. So you can talk to them as well. So if you feel that they are not, even magistrate is not doing anything, human rights will definitely take care of it.
But don't you think this is very taxing on the human mind and body? Because you have gone through a lot, you're suffering, and then you have to take multiple steps before even, say, filing a complaint, and then again yawns to have your verdict clear. So,
All
isn't that
I'll
flawed?
say that this is what it is with Indian Constitution. You have to go through the process because it's as I told you that Indian Constitution believes that if you put someone in prison who's innocent, then it is worse than actually finding the criminal. So all they are trying to do is save anyone who's innocent. So if they make it very easy, suppose someone who's innocent person, if you just want to accuse him for a personal revenge or something, they will just straight away put him in jail and he's innocent. Won't his life be spoiled? So they're just trying to protect innocent. That is why the lengthy process.
I would just say it's a little flawed because you're protecting innocent, which is great, but then there are people who are suffering a lot and they are
I agree
going
there are
door to door.
modifications
Yeah.
required. I'm not denying that at all. But however, Indian Constitution has a different mindset. They have a different kind of goals. So that is why you have to understand someone's background, history, and mindset. And we are totally driven by Britishers, right?
Yeah.
Our entire constitution is same
Yeah,
as Brit. I also went to UK and I studied in Oxford for some time, wanted to explore their laws. It is ditto, literally similar. So it is just their mindset which we have carried forward.
What is your take on a situation, for example, somebody is 17 years old, 10 months, and he, she, or them, they've committed a very heinous crime. In your personal opinion, should they be treated as an adult or as a juvenile?
I think it's as juvenile. I don't believe that even if they have not crossed like 17 years or 17, 8 months, doesn't matter. And after 18, you treat them differently. It's not correct, I understand. But I feel that even after 18, they should be given a buffer period of 1 year of understanding what is crime and what is not. Either you start teaching them from a very young age, because in schools we are not taught what is crime, what is wrong, what is right. Education system needs to understand this, that as children they have to be taught perfectly. So I just say in one line that to me, they are if they are below 18, they are juvenile. So they don't fall under any mature or adult kind of acts or laws.
Why does someone with power and money escape punishments in India? This is not a generalized thing which I'm telling you, but most of the cases are like this. You may help clear my mind or you may disagree, but this is the perception.
I agree to what you're saying. I totally do. But because corruption is the main thing, all the officers are bit more or less somehow corrupted. And I don't think it's their fault. The kind of salary that they are paid for being a government officer is really low. So either you change the payment that they are getting, because if you see in abroad, in United States and UK, government officials are paid very high amount of salaries compared to India. So either you pay them high and make them for real, some real heroes.
Right.
Only then the problem will solve.
We spoke about the juvenile issue.
Right.
Recently, I think a few months back, in Pune, there was a case where a young driver who was under 18, he was driving a Porsche and he killed two people. Supposedly, you can't accuse anybody until they're pronounced guilty.
Yeah.
What is your take on that? Somebody driving at very high speeds, which is all over the internet, all over the news, people are condemning it. Yet, because he's under 18, he's asked to write an essay. Again, he's not pronounced accused, but as per the facts that are there available on in the internet, it seems as if he is the one who was driving the car. Okay.
So see, it's Juvenile Act, which is controlling and taking care of the actions that he has taken. And that is why he was just told to write an essay. Similarly, a hit and run case done by Salman Khan years back, if you're aware about that, he was sent to prison he was pronounced a prison of 5 years, imprisonment of 5 years, right? So it's not that everyone who is a celebrity or who has powers is, just let free. No, not like that. Because if that was the case, Salman Khan is definitely someone who's very powerful in the film industry everywhere. He could not get rid of it. He still went to the prison. He got an imprisonment of 5 years. At least that is what is stated in the judgment. So I don't think it was just because he was connected or powerful. It was also Juvenile Act which took care of his case.
Um, is there a way in the Indian system or the Indian constitution which can treat juveniles as adults?
Sorry.
Like, is there a clause in the constitution or a section in the Indian constitution which allows juveniles who are about to become adults to be treated as adults in case they...
No, there is no such section in Indian constitution. Anybody, there is a very generic statement and a clear-cut statement, I'll say, that anybody who's below 18 would be considered as a juvenile.
Right.
Because there's a specific age that is given. Even if it's 1 month or 5 days left to become 18, when you committed the crime, you are still a juvenile.
Right. And as an advocate yourself, do you think the punishment for rape in India should change?
Okay. I don't know if you're aware about the punishments. There is a punishment which is minimum 20 years, up to lifetime imprisonment, and rarest of rare case, they also are hanged to death, right? So these are what are the laws saying. But if you ask me personally as a lawyer, yes, definitely. Firstly, I think what should change is that they should be no such prolonged hearings should be going on. They should immediately take them into prison custody and should be torturing them just the way they did to the person who was raped or who's a victim. Basically do the same things with him or her, whoever has done it. I don't want to be a gender biased person, so him or her, whoever has done it should be treated in the exact same way, the way he has done the crime, and only the same actions which were taken by him should be done to him. That is what I feel should be the correct judgment, that do the same exact thing the way he or she did it.
Right. My last question would be a very simple one for people to help clear their head. What is the difference between a police custody and a judicial custody?
So police custody is when you are under a under police station, basically. Whenever you are kept in a prison, basically, and you are taken care just by the police. Judicial custody is by the court order. Right. Whenever the court has made an order and then you are kept under a custody, that is a judicial custody when you're pronounced by the court and not by a FIR or by the police station. It is pronounced by the judiciary. So that is a judicial custody.
Great. Thank you so much, Niki, for coming to Twisted Truths. It was an eye-opener on a lot of topics, and I'm glad you could, help me and help all the ones who are viewing and listening to this podcast, enlighten them with so much knowledge. So I'm really thankful to you, and I hope to see you real soon again.
All right. Thank you. Pleasure was all mine.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.